Hello and welcome back to Opulence with Gia's podcast. I am being graced by a beauty's presence today, beautiful Catherine, who is the founder of Hydrogène Consulting, and she is an expert in offering light speed manifestations through her beautiful light language, French. She's also a Akashic consultant, a healer, and a teacher, and everything about light speed you can imagine. And she allows you to move with greater ease, speed, and fulfill your entire existence. I know that was a mouthful to hear, but I really wanted to do justice to my beautiful guest, Catherine, today. Catherine, how are you doing?
Thank you so much, Gia. I'm very, very, very good. What about you?
I'm doing well. And if you're watching this on a video, you can see I have these silly glasses on because I'm still recovering from my
Love them. I
eye
love them.
procedure. But yes, so me and Catherine actually have been doing Akashic Record reading exchanges.
Yes,
And
it's been amazing.
I was sharing my experience of going into darkness for 3 days with the eye surgery and what I unfolded in that. And Catherine really resonated and connected with me on the topic of feelings.
Yes, that's right.
Feelings, because I was in darkness for 3 days and I had shared with Catherine here that I had no feelings. I was sitting in a room fully
So good.
surrendered.
Mhm.
My family was taking care of me. They were feeding me. My partner was driving me around. I had no control or saying anything. I just sat in darkness with myself, completely unplugged from all matrix, all distortion, all screens. In fact, it's really hard for me to actually go on a screen now. Once I'm done my task on a screen, immediately my body goes, shut it down, shut it down. And it was a really interesting experience for me because in those 3 days, I just had me, my channel, and divine neutrality. And that is it. And everywhere I went, I could feel myself in everyone and everything because
This
I
is
had,
incredible.
I couldn't see, right? Like I had no filter or no judgment come through. And also in that having no filter and no judgment come through, it's just acceptance.
Yes, and that's the key.
Right, that's the key, exactly. And I know, Catherine, you mentioned that the observer feeling, feeling the feelings without feeling them.
Yes, we were talking about, I think I called that cold emotion. If
Cold
I have,
emotion. There you go.
yes,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it's like you feel it, but you don't feel it. It's going through you, but it's just like, oh wow. You're not moving, you're not going with the emotion, you're just there and say, oh, okay, this is it. It's total neutrality, but you know the emotion, you know the feeling, it's here, but you don't feel it. And it's just so comfortable because you got the message and you don't have any kind of reaction. You're not in reaction because most of the time when we are feeling an emotion, we are in reaction and it's not comfortable. And if the intensity is pretty high, it's really uncomfortable. But with a cold emotion, like I call it, I don't know if it's the right word or not, but I will call it like that for now. It's so comfortable. You get the information and you don't have to move anything or to react to anything. It's just like, oh, wow, I'm not losing my energy at all.
Yeah,
And I love
exactly.
it. I don't know for you, but it's so comfortable and you don't get exhausted by your feelings and emotions.
That's the key part there, right? Because we talked about this too, the distortion of feelings. In those 3 days, I was not hungry. I was not upset. I was not sad. I was not lonely, even though physically I was alone in a dark room. I was not lonely. And then it got me thinking that we're manipulated and provoked to feel things. Like they show us so much food. They show it, they advertise it, the media, they show us food. That provokes hunger. It manipulates our entire digestive system, our senses. And then, it grabs our entire attention. And wherever our attention is going, it's manipulating feelings and desires. So, are our feelings really true? I started questioning that.
Yeah,
Are
and
they?
I totally
Yeah,
agree with you. Yes, because most of our feelings, they are just created. created by society, and you talk about the food, but we can talk about everything. Everything is made to make us react. So sometimes you say, okay, is it really normal that I react this way? Or is it just that my brain just learned it that way?
The programming.
The
Yeah.
program.
The
Since we are young, a kid, we are programmed to react to everything. So our body took the habit to just, I have to feel something. So it gives me information. So I know how I can react to that. And it's just like, what? And now I'm 44 years old and I say, this is just exhausting. This is just like, no, it's not possible anymore. Because if, like me, you are hypersensitive, I'm a really hypersensitive person, but you are just living in a world that everything exhausts you if you are going on like that.
Yes. Yes. Because you're right. They're constantly grabbing your attention and feeding you a feeling that's
Yes.
manipulating you and making you exhausted. It is taxing on your nervous system, right? And
Yes.
also when it comes to feelings, our entire society is built on feelings, if you think about it too, right? Like our relationships. Oh, you have to love someone to be with them. You have to like this person to work with them. You have to, we have feelings, I'm going to say programmed in everything. And it questions relationships for me too.
Of course. Of
It
course.
questions relationships because every time, you go to any, even intuitive spiritual healer or a psychologist, they're always asking you, how do you feel?
My gosh. Yeah. You're right.
And then
This is you.
we don't stop talking about it. We just go on this big rant and we keep talking and talking, and then we keep manipulating ourselves and provoking ourselves to feel a certain way.
Keep our attention there.
Exactly, our attention's
Feel
there.
how I feel.
Yes, but what if we're just the cold emotion, the observer in neutrality?
Neutrality, that's the key. It's so much more easier because we are taught to feel, it's good or bad. So I have the bad, I want the good. I want to go there. And with my clients, sometimes I just say, no, we're not looking to go there.
Yeah.
What we choose is neutrality. When you choose neutrality, you can choose whatever you want after that. But we have been taught to choose this is bad or this is good. So you have bad feelings or good feelings, and when you have good ones, you want to push them so much more joy and things that are nice to feel, and we are pushing them, we are every time pushing them to feel more and more and more of that. But this is not what we have to ask. For me, it's much more easier neutrality, because in neutrality you discover such a deep joy. I don't know for you, I don't know how you lived it, but for me, it's just like, oh, wow, everything is just so magical. And you don't have this, oh, because this is exhausting your body too.
Yes.
It's like so calm, alive at the same time.
I have to, I 100% agree with you because when I was in that dark period, I felt so elevated and so myself and serene and really, really good. And whatever was going on in my like world, it was all perfect for me. It was all perfect. And I had completely surrendered. I had completely surrendered. And that was the other beauty as well, because again, the Matrix, they want you to control everything, right? Everything has a date, deadline, time. There's just so much control over that. I didn't know what time it was. I didn't know what date it was, what day it was, or what was going on. And it felt amazing. And then it got me thinking, when I leave this 3-day period, I'm going to continue living from this space no matter where I go. So even when I go into client sessions now, I actually close my eyes when they're speaking to me. It's a game changer. You want to really know what the frequency is, just in neutrality, and you don't want to judge anything because, again, when you see things, the filters come through, the judgment filter. It's natural because we've been programmed. I'm just
And
going to
this
say
is
it, right?
amazing.
To make labels and make opinions and analyze. And the human brain wants to do that. But now I just close my eyes, I listen to the voice, and I allow my body to kind of respond in a very subtle way, because the body is the highest intelligence, right? It's basically the sacred home of our soleil, of our soul.
Mhm.
It knows. It will know exactly how to respond, manage, or deal whatever the situation is. So I actually close my eyes now for pretty much everything. And it's been a shocking experience for me too, because the music that we listen to. And when I came back from surgery, I was like, I'm going to listen to high frequency music for help my eyes to heal and recover. And we have 333 hertz, we have 552 hertz, those numbers. And they have angelic frequency. You can put them on YouTube and Spotify and everything. I feel no frequency from them.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there going, isn't this supposed to be like really high frequency? This is supposed to make me feel like something, right? Something. I feel just nothing. And then I just open my window. I hear birds.
Mm. The best.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness. That went right to my stomach. I was like, okay, it's sounds of nature that are the highest frequency. Any other manufactured sound they're selling as high frequency is complete BS. Traffic noises felt better to me than the angelic frequency from YouTube.
I agree.
This is a world we kind of live in.
Yes, and this is why we have to have a deep contact with our body to, I was going to say feel, but it's not the right word, because it's just, what is it? What does this thing give to me? Like the music you told. Okay, I was told that this is the best music to heal my frequency. No, but it's not. So just trust yourself because you know it. You can feel it.
Yes.
For that, you
Yeah.
have to have a really deep contact with your own body. This is what is most important.
Yes, 100%. And we've been learning in the Akashic Record Keepers, the retraining. Me and Catherine both went through a retraining with Mother Malia, actually. And she basically teaches it from a consciousness level that's distortion free. And we've learned that the body's consciousness is actually completely separate from your soul consciousness. So it can
This is
have different desires.
this is just amazing. I was
It,
just like, what? It makes sense. It makes sense for so many things. When you learn that your body has its own consciousness, okay, this explains a lot. And you can learn to I don't know if it's the right word, but collaborate with it. But it's just like, oh wow, it's way more efficiency like that.
100%. And that's it, because I remember that's when I went in for my procedure, I spoke to my eyes like a separate consciousness. And I said, okay, we're going to do this. How do you feel about this experience? And my body was completely on board. And usually I'm very iffy. I'm going to say I'm judgmental actually, because we've been again taught that drugs are bad for you, right? Like antibiotics and steroids and everything. My body was like, take steroids.
Thank you very much. Yes, I do agree. We were taught it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. No, you don't know. Ask your body. Ask your body. He will tell you.
Yeah, my body was like, no, I'm going to recover really good and I need steroids for it. Put steroids in my eyes, like
Just love it.
literally.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And the first day I was completely drugged out. My body's like, yep, this is perfect. Drug it out, sleep. Drug it out and sleep. And the old version of me would have been like, oh, that's not holistic. That's not
Mhm.
organic.
This
That's
is
not good for
spiritual
me,
bullshit. Yes.
right?
Mhm.
I would have been really judgmental. But now that I have this higher perspective and knowledge, I understand that my body really appreciates it.
It's the same for everything. You're talking about drugs, but food and everything like that, it's the same. We have been told this is good, this is bad. No, what does my body need today?
Yes,
With judgment.
exactly. And also it got me thinking a lot about plant medicine because
Mhm.
a lot of people go through the mushrooms, right? Now mushrooms are a big thing, or ayahuasca. It's not for everybody.
No,
And a lot of people just think it's a shortcut and they'll be okay and they can take it. But it's like you need to ask your body, does your body want to receive it? Because it's not just about your soleil. Because the soleil may want it, yes, because it wants to do multi-dimensional healing and everything. But how will your body digest it?
I totally agree. Makes sense for everything in life. We want to know to form like it's the same for everyone. You want to go there, you want to have those extrasensorial experience. Okay, you have to take mushrooms. No. What
No.
does my body need for that? What does my body need to eat today? What does my body need to sleep today? And it's just so specific to each of us that you don't find that in the papers or on the internet. It's just inside. You have your own notice, if I can say like that.
Yes, exactly, your own notice. And that's why I would say, Catherine, someone like you is actually perfect for this because, you have you have this higher perspective and knowledge. And with this amazing, cold emotions and everything, but you help your clients uniquely manifest at light speed from their
Yes.
own unique blueprints.
That's the thing. That's exactly the thing. Thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
perfectly said.
Yes, because I find that a lot of people are going to certain individuals, and that individual, yes, they're working one-on-one with you, but they're using the same method for everyone.
No, never. We are so unique. You are so specific. And I know that, and it's funny because since last week when we met for the exchange of session, I am working with my eyes closed, but I didn't even think about what you said at the beginning of this podcast. I was just like, oh, wow, that's right. I work with my eyes closed because I know, I trust I'm going to get the right information for my client. I don't need to know everything. I just let it go. And with your eyes closed, you get the exact information your client needs to find his own way of manifesting things.
Yes. And of course, for you, Catherine, it makes a lot of sense. And as all, the audience here today knows that I'm a clear channel for Mother Agua. Well, Catherine's also I'm going to say Soleil sister from Sedona. We did that trip together. That's exactly how we met. And that's where, she had her anointing as thunder.
Oh, wow. Yes, this one was a big one.
Yes, thunder. So you were announced thunder. And so, yes, the light speed 100% because you hold those codes and frequencies for your clients. You can move people with light.
Yes. That's the thing. And I don't have to do anything. It's just so natural. Now it's natural, I
Yes.
had to go back to this natural way of doing things. But know that I have this power, if I can say it like that, it's just like, oh, wow, it's so natural. You don't have to do anything. It's just coming like that. And it strikes exactly where it has to, so that everything is unfolding at the speed of light. We don't do level by level and taking for the thing. It's just like kaboom, and then it's done.
Yes. And that's the beauty because again, if we go back to feelings, um, a lot of times, again, people are letting you feel things, right? They're like, oh, sit with yourself and feel things. But if you're going to come to Thunder or Mother Agua or someone that's just understands, has an understanding of frequency versus like labels, like emotions and feelings, we're just going to move you out of the feeling. You don't even need to sit with yourself because you're with yourself all the time.
Yes, thank you very much.
Why would you need to sit with yourself? It's I've had a major awakening with this process. Like I feel like I rebirthed again in the 3 day of darkness, but you know, that's that's the beauty of going to someone that's going to move you at light speed and holds a code of thunder and resonates with thunder because again, you don't need to sit anywhere. You're with yourself all the time. Why would you need to sit in your past traumas?
No one.
No,
But
you don't need to.
that was the way we were doing it for so long, and some people still doing that. We go
Yeah.
back there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it feels heavy to even talk about it. Like it's just,
Yes, yes. I was just like, oh, it's not feeling right at all.
so we're not gonna even talk about that part because we just can't, we can't. We literally cannot talk about it. It just feels so
Yeah,
weird.
I can feel the stop. I can feel it. Oop, no,
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. But you know, the whole emotions thing too, right? I remember telling you because I also got a download in my dark period that we actually only have 6 original feelings,
Okay.
just 6, which is
Okay.
joy, sadness, grief, anger, and you know, so forth. So we have that. And then everything from there has been branched out. So, for example, let's just say you feel sacred rage, like you feel anger in your body, like sacred, like from the core, like you feel ignited. Then people start to, we've been manufactured, I'm going to say, programmed to be like, oh, do you want to say something? Are you feeling revengeful? Do you want to take revenge? And then they connect that revenge feeling with the anger. Or if someone is feeling shocked is not a feeling, by the way, either is surprise. It's not a mood and it's not a feeling. It's something that they have manufactured to basically hijack your nervous system.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. It makes sense. Total sense.
Oh, we're going to shock you. There's no one's being electrocuted, right? Like it's not going to be a shock.
Yeah.
And surprise, I remember you and me talked about this too, Catherine. So like, are you really surprised though?
No. And this brings me back to thunder. When I strike, there's no shock. This is real electricity, but there's no shock at all. So yes, shock is totally manufactured. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, makes sense.
Yes. And we're never surprised because our highest self always knows.
Hmm.
We're not surprised. We know. We just have aha moment, like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the expression. It's just, oh, okay. And that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. There's no feeling attached to that. But they've labeled it with so many other feelings. Oh, you're surprised, you're shocked. Aren't you glad? Or aren't you sad? And it's like they branch it out, but we only have like 6 original feelings. I don't know why I keep getting the number 6, even though I can count 4 only. Maybe I'm missing 2. I don't know. Maybe they'll let me know later. But yeah, we only have very few original feelings, and everything else is a branch that's connected to it.
And I can hear now that the shock is helping to imprint those feelings into your body. So you have to be stuck with it. It's really a way of being stuck with the feelings.
Oh my goodness.
And this becomes really heavy pretty fast.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
actually yeah, yeah, okay, yes, because I kept seeing nervous system. So yeah, they're imprinting it on you and they're just kind of dysregulating everything in your body.
Everything.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense now. Because if you think about, you go back to being a child, you didn't feel anything. You just felt joy or sad.
Mhm.
That's it. You felt sadness or joy.
It was just information. That's it.
That's
You
it.
didn't have to do that. You knew it was just information.
And that's the original way that we're meant to basically, I'm just gonna say navigate through emotions, like walk through them and just kind of process them. And that's it. And, it really got me thinking again about relationships. It really did, because I'm going to talk about parenting. There's a lot of pressure on parents to love and like their children, but you're not responsible for anyone else. You're your own sovereign being. If you have a fully grown adult child that has no need for you and they're disrespecting you and they're not being kind and they've turned out to just not be a high quality human, you don't have to like them or even love them. It's okay.
It's okay.
That is okay. But there's so much guilt, shame, and judgment around that. Oh, but you have to feel like this about your child. You're the mother. Like you have to. No, you don't.
Yes. When it's come to about family, that just, it's family, it's normal. You have to just accept everything. No, not at all.
No. And also, I don't like when people say, oh, but this is your blood.
Yes, but yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
We
but
all
no.
have blood. We're all human. Like we all have like we're all, what do you mean? We're all flesh and blood. That's fine, right? But I've never understood that. But yeah, when it comes to the pressure of you have to feel like this because of this. No, you don't.
We don't. And if we can have this neutrality in our relationship, it's just like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And I'm sure our relationship would be way much better. This kind of situation when a kid doesn't want to have anything to do with her parents, it would still happen, but maybe just 10% of the time, or maybe 1% of the time.
Yeah.
This happens too often because we are not in neutrality with our relationships.
Yes. And, of course, we've been taught codependency as well.
Yes, we need the other one. We absolutely need him or her. Otherwise, I'm not complete. I see that so often in my sessions.
Yes.
This is
And
quickly done, this is quickly done with thunder, just and it's
yeah,
done. But it's just because it's so often responsible for so much pain and
yes.
sadness and non-understanding and things like that. No, no, it's over.
Yes. I myself am learning this big lesson. I'm going through this lesson right now as we're speaking of it, of learning full sovereignty and, really embodying it, not just on surface, like, oh, I have my separate money, I have my separate house, I'm separate, I'm independent. But it's like, how do I feel in my body? Do I feel like I belong to me?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I feel like I should be someone else's, someone's wife, mom, daughter? Where am I giving up myself constantly? And oh, but I'm independent. Oh, but look,
Yes.
it's surface level.
Yes, I don't know for you, but here in Europe, it's really imprinted that a girl, she's the daughter of. We
Uh,
always, she's the daughter of, and then when she's an adult, she's the wife of. So does she really belong to herself? And we are living with this kind of memories or imprints. We don't even know it, but
yes.
it's like, can a woman own herself? Because it's so deep in society that we are the daughter, we are the wife.
Yes. I belong to the South Asian community. Well, my avatar does, my skin color does. Um, right? I belong to me, but I was born and raised South Asian. It's the same thing. Even till date, as a grown adult, people will call me Gion's daughter. Nobody back home, I went last year for my brother's wedding, knew my name. They were
Oh, wow.
addressing me as Gion's daughter. And then when I go to my current partner's place, even his nieces and nephews, they will sometimes address me with his first name.
Oh, wow.
Auntie, yeah, and then they'll say his name.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so it's really, really big. And he's the eldest in his family. So I have to hold the torch now, and I am responsible for everyone else coming in.
All right, this is a lot to take for
Yes.
one person.
Yep. But that's how the community expects you to feel in them.
Yes.
Yeah, to feel responsibility for them, to feel pressure and feel like you're the leader and you have to lead the family. You don't have to lead anybody.
No,
You really
just
don't. No, and that's the other thing I'm learning as well now, like in this discussion, that I don't have to lead my family. For a very long time, I was convinced, that I'm the one that's going to break the cycle, generational curses. So I have to lead my family,
oh wow.
right? That's also a distortion because, again, I'm a sovereign being. I'm here for me.
We are not taught like that since the beginning. We are not taught this is right, but we're not taught like that. Our brain is just moving the other way for what?
Yes. And I find a lot of times people get so caught up in their emotion and feeling that they, like you said, they start to react and then they get sick. They collapse. They have no energy then.
Of course.
Yep. And I remember you talking about the body centers as well when the feeling is
Our
stored.
energetic body centers, yes. I
Yes.
was shown that by my guides a few weeks ago. It was just like, oh wow, this is supposed to know, big globes of bright light, and it's supposed to move all the time like that and process every emotion that is coming in just to poof, okay, got it, you can go further. And since we are a kid, a baby, we are so much taught to react to everything that there are so many emotions coming at the same time for
Mm.
absorbing that those big centers just got stuck. So this is why the older you get, the older the bigger this sensitivity go on and grow, because I don't have what it needs to process. Process is not the right word I hear, but I don't have a better one for now. But because everything is stuck, it's not moving anymore, and it's just emotion coming and coming and coming, and the body cannot process them.
Yeah. And
And like, oh wow, like I told you, I'm doing each time I'm getting something from my guides, I record it, I record the activation, and then I do it for myself. And then I did this activation for I think a little bit more than a week every day. And it was just like, oh wow, I have maybe not half as much as the feeling I was having before. And when something is coming, it's just like, oh, okay, that's good. I never had those, big emotions or big feelings after this activation. It was just like, this is just magical. We don't need all those emotions. It's just like exhausting, and that's it. No use at all.
wow, I love that. And I love how you like they showed you like it's a big globe of just energy flowing in us all the time. And how many times are we taught to go somewhere else for energy?
All the time.
All the time, but it's right there. It's right
Everything is
there. Yeah, it's right there.
inside.
Yeah, it's right there. And I always say this to my clients too now. And it's so simple, but it's so magnetizing when you feel like you're depleted, like you have no energy left and you cannot do anything. Yes, you can take a walk in nature, you can hug a tree, you can ground, beautiful. But you can simply just call back your consciousness.
Mhm.
Call it back. Call back your consciousness and reclaim all of your attention back into your heart. Your energy will come back like this.
And it's true because it's simple. Life is simple. When I'm just thinking about that, this wheel of emotions we can find on the internet and so many emotions, it's not simple. Cannot be true. Like you say, you call back your consciousness to your heart. That's it. It is simple.
It's simple.
Life always does simple things. We
Yes.
were taught to be complicated, to search for difficulty, to search outside. No need. Everything is
Yes.
there and it's simple.
Yes. And also the word critical thinking. In school, it was used so much growing up here in Canada. Oh, you have to be a critical thinker. We don't need to think anything. The thoughts come on their own.
Yes.
Our body's a very high intelligence source. So is our soul, who's living and cohabiting with our body. Both of them together are co-creators, and they were always going to give you the thoughts. You don't need to actually think.
No, because to think, it's to go in your brain and open the drawer. You think it is the right one, and you combine it with another memory of another event, or I don't know, and it's not me reacting, it's my brain.
There you go. Yeah. And then that's what, again, beautifully, and I'm going to call it distortion too. They've labeled it as the ego.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's your ego talking. That's not you. Okay, who taught us the ego? The school, by making us critical thinkers, to problem solve, to analyze, to categorize everything. Because as a child, when we go to school, we just go with our big heart. We don't know anything. We go to see our friends, we go to whatever, right? We don't know. But then all of a sudden, you're given a piece of paper and a pencil, and it's like, oh, think this scenario through, rewrite this paragraph, and think, use your brain all the time. And then it's like, oh, you use your brain good, A plus,
Mm-hmm.
right? All that nonsense comes up then. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're not, we don't need to really even think because in 3 days of darkness, I had beautiful thoughts. My brain, my mind, my body was a beautiful place to actually be in. It was just so nice to be in myself because I wasn't thinking anything, but I still had thoughts. Like I was still like, oh, like I'm sitting on my bed. My surgery went really well. My eyes are going to calibrate, and then I don't have to wear glasses, and then I'll just do my hair. Like I was planning my whole avatar, and then plus getting the downloads, right? But they had me planning my avatar. Like when I get rid of the glasses, I'm going to look completely different,
Yes.
right? So I had to plan all that, and they were giving it to me. They were saying, yes, we can do this with the hair. We can wear makeup now without having to worry about glasses ruining it and everything. It's just a whole thing. I planned 4 vacations.
You don't have to think about it. It's just coming by itself from you don't know where, but you know it's right. You know it's true. It's just like the thought is not manufactured. It's just natural. And it's not disturbing. It's not exhausting.
Oh yeah, like I planned 4 vacations, and one of them, they said you like have to go to Joshua Tree in California. And I've always wanted to go, but I just been brushing it off. So I guess this year I will go. I then I obviously Googled prices when I got back online. Like, okay, what's the cost? Where am I gonna stay? How will this work? And it's really close to Palm Springs. It's about 30-minute drive. So I landed in Palm Springs and drive. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll spend a day in Palm Springs because I've never been there. I look into Palm Springs, and then I immediately knew why they told me Joshua Tree. Because in Palm Springs, there's heavy distortion around agua. They have
Okay, wow.
agua casino, agua museum. Like
Oh,
they
wow.
have used the word agua everywhere. And Palm Springs apparently does not have any water,
I love it.
but they have labeled everything agua. So I'm like, what is going on here? And I could feel
Something is
Mother
happening.
Agua in me boiling, like, oh, like I need to go there and just break this building and, the sacred rage. So I'm like, okay, now I understand why that they showed me Joshua Tree. Because if they said Palm Springs, I would have been like, no, that's too touristy.
Okay, yes.
But they will let you know. Like your spirit, your soul, your body will always, always give you the thought that is important for you. Always.
Yes. And it's just like it's coming from, for me, it's the way of it's coming from there and just poof. And you have just like to let it reveal to you. For me, it's the right word. Reveal it to you. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to think about it. Just, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
yes, it's,
Catherine, this has been a lovely, lovely chat. Let
yes, it
our audience
was.
know where they can find you. I will also add the links in the description below, but to let them know what your handle is and how they can contact you.
Right now, you want me to do that right now?
Yeah, just let me know. Let
Okay.
your website, your name.
Yes. But my website, just for information, my website, you have an English version. Okay. It's in French, but you have an English version. And for now, I just do one-on-one sessions in English. My courses and things are still in French because my light language is in French, but all the freebies are in French. But it's as my light language is French, you don't need to understand them for it to be efficient. You just have to close your eyes and this is working its magic.
Okay, beautiful. So I will have everything linked in the description below, her website, all of her social media and platform. And it's been a real treat, Catherine. Thank you so much for
It's so
your
much for having me today. It's just I was so excited and happy, you know.
Me too. This has been a really, really good conversation. To everyone who's listening, please let us know in the comments how you resonated, what unfolded for you. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, keep thriving. And thank you so much.